Radio Derby.
It is 7:20. It is Easter Sunday, and an Alfreton choir have produced a virtual song for Easter by recording at home, and members of the choir have produced and edited the video in time for Easter. The Alfreton Male Voice Choir have been producing songs virtually through the pandemic. Here's a little taster.
Sings my soul, my Saviour, unto thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Saviour, unto thee. How great thou art, how great thou art.
All recorded virtually. Love it. Mick Mullarkey is the chairman of the choir. Mick, a very good morning to you. Happy Easter.
And good morning to you, Donna, and a happy Easter to you.
Do you know what? It's so lovely to hear that this morning. Why did you particularly want to mark Easter this year as a choir?
Well, I think it's come as a result of we started with marking Remembrance Day, then Christmas, then Valentine's Day, and of course it's terribly appropriate at this time of the year as a remembrance of people who suffered and been lost during the COVID crisis, and just to think about rebirth and re-enlivenment of life. And that's the one thing we're hoping to get through in the next few months with the roadmap out of lockdown. And the lads got together, obviously not just randomly. We've worked very hard to get these two together, and I think they make a lovely sound.
It's so lovely. And with regard to recording it, Mick, do you know what? The last year has taught me one thing, and that is that I am rubbish with technology. I really struggle with certain things. We've all had to learn, haven't we? I mean, Zoom is probably as far as I can go, and that's just for like a half-hour meeting or something. But how easy or how difficult is it for you to sort of record your bits and then put it all together?
Well, we've got quite a clever tech team together in actual fact, and they're all self-taught. There's John, our secretary, who's the video editor. There's David, who's the real tech man who puts the sounds together. And of course, we're led by our musical director and accompanist, Terry Clay and Michael Anthony. And it was a bit of not a struggle, but it was challenging to say the least, you know. And when we got used to seeing each other on Zoom and then finding out that we did have to listen to each other, because if we all spoke at once, it was like a gaggle. And then we found that there was some special software, it's free software that we can use. And so what happened was that Michael actually produced the track with the appropriate voice on it, baritone, bass, tenor, second tenor. We fed that to ourselves and then sang into our own recording device and passed it on to David, and the magic started to happen.
Wow, that is very impressive, Rick. I have to admit, it's very, very impressive. And how important is the choir to its members? Because as you said, you've been doing things to sort of mark big occasions throughout the year. Yes, it's a great way of sort of keeping in touch virtually with your mates.
Well, that is the thing, obviously. I mean, choir practice on Thursday always has ended up with us sitting in the Palmer Morwood Centre and having a drink for half an hour afterwards, which we can't do, but we can have as much as we want at home. We don't have to drive home, of course. But yes, I mean, we're very much a very closely knit choir. Sadly, we've lost 3 of our members this year not through COVID-related death, but just natural causes. And so obviously we want to make sure that whoever is around, we keep in contact with, because, you know, lockdown has had quite a serious effect on how we think about life and so forth. And we now got to the point where Thursday night is back to normal. It is choir night. No one goes out, not going to go out very often anyway. But it really is. And we have over the years as a choir done quite a lot of stuff. We do street collections for comic relief and children in need and things like that. So obviously what we like to do is entertain. and we've lost the concerts. So we've got to find some way of entertaining. That's the one reason we want to put ourselves out there. We've had responses from Canada. We have one regular attendee from Australia, and of course get some far afield as Summercoats and Swanwick.
It's lovely. Do you know what, Mick? It's lovely. You speak about it with such passion. It's really nice to hear that. And what are you up to next? Dare I ask, Mick?
Well, dare I ask? Dare I reveal it? We've got some plans for some excerpts from Les Mis during the summer, but now the roadmap out of lockdown might allow us to have a concert. We normally have an annual concert in October, so we are actually planning to make that as our return to live entertainment, and that really is the plan at the moment. But obviously we take our time. We're a little bit older than what we were some years ago. When I joined 13 years ago, I was a young man of 64, and I brought the average age down to 76. So now, and of course, we did have a choir of 42 then, that through natural causes and some people leaving the area without about a regular attendance of 25. And that's even while we're on Radion. And the president, George Curley, has even learned Bohemian Rhapsody as he turns 30 as well. So.
Oh, Mick, do you know what? Will you please give our very, very best to everyone at the Alfreton Male Voice Choir. We can't wait till you can perform again. I think you're going to get an absolutely amazing response. And I know that people can see that whole video of your Easter songs on YouTube. Mick Mullarkey from the Alfreton Male Voice Choir.